cordless impact on the market. The only one that has more foot-pound, pound-feet of torque, I think, is the DeWalt, and it's at 700. So, and then the last tool in this cordless collection is a compact recip saw. And I used this one time and fell in love with it. I had to do some work on the Bumble Jeep exhaust system. And I went over and I bought this, and again, it was the bare tool, but it came with a couple of blades. Not the right blades for cutting exhaust systems. I ended up getting, a pack of blades for this. I don't remember what brand. I don't think they were Kobalt, and only because I couldn't find the Kobalt at the time and I needed them right away. But this thing is a beast. Now, I seen the guys over at VCG, very cool guys, do a review of this one, and they smoked one. Now, I saw what they were doing when they smoked it. They got the blade wedged between the parts they were cutting and kept it wedged. Now, I don't know. I don't think they did it on purpose. They may not have even realized they did it. But that's, you can't restrict these things and expect them not to smoke. Are they equipped with a thermal cutoff? Not sure. I would think they would be. I know the batteries are. If the batteries get hot, they'll shut down like that. So anyhow, price, performance, warranty, I mean, for my money, and to be fair, that first set I had, the 18 volt for these two, I use both those tools practically every day in my job when I worked at the garage, and they never missed a beat. I've dropped them accidentally off of ladders, 5-6 foot high ladders, and no damage. Very tough tools. The new ones I like even better. They've improved the design. It looks, looks good. I was going to say something else, but try to keep this family friendly, and I try not to use those words anymore, but it looked BA, like BA Baracus. So anyhow, that's what I got for you. This went way long. I'm at 35, almost 36 minutes. And my phone's telling me it broke this down into 2 files, so don't know how that's going to work out. But, one more worth mentioning. Yes, I've bought many of these over the years. I inherited one from my dad, which was the best one I ever had, and then one of the guys I was working with at the garage borrowed it, was cutting a live 110, and just burned out that whole area. And sorry, that's all I got was a sorry, and he put it back in my box. He didn't even tell me that he had done it until I went to use it the next time and saw it was burned out. He says, oh yeah, that happened when I was working on the exhaust fan for the paint booth. Too dumb to turn the power off. So anyhow, I bought the cheap ones, and they work the first dozen or so times you use them, but then they this way they get like wonky, and they don't work. This one, I got it. It's a Kobalt, and I looked it up online before I bought it, and said the store had them. I went over. I found them. They're not in the regular tool aisle. They're in the electrical accessories, like connectors and stuff like that. They might have been $15, but I like the crimper section for crimping connectors. It's all color coded. See? I like the stripper, works great. And then you also have that crimper in the end, little alligator teeth. This thing works great. I've used it a lot. I was the electrical guy at the garage where I worked. I did all the cap installations and, wiring in auxiliary harnesses and power steps and all that stuff. I did all the truck installation, accessory installations in the garage, and so I did a lot of electrical wiring. And these things are probably the best that I've used. Personal opinion, again, in my humble opinion. So anyhow, that's what I got for you today in my toolbox tour and tool review for Kobalt tools. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll try and get some actual work done on this week while I have the time off to do it. I've been following a lot of the other Jeep channels on YouTube. Saw a guy doing a project with he got a fiberglass hood. It's an anniversary edition from some off-road company. And I suggested to him that he gets the latch pins like I put in my hood, and these are gas props to replace the prop rod on that. And maybe I'll put these in this week. I gotta do some work on them. I'm not happy with the fit where this goes through this bracket. I'm not happy with the hardware that they sent. They sent you like I don't know, it's a big long stainless-ish screw. It's not a self-tapper. You got a pre-drill, and then it's not a machine thread. It's just like a quick thread. Not happy with that at all. So I want to do thread certs, nut certs in there, and bolt them in and Loctite them so they don't come loose, because I have it's an aftermarket, but it's an OEM style steel hood. So anyhow, one question for you guys out there for the Jeep community. So sorry, this is running long. Actually, two questions. Number one, I am looking for a set of flat fender flares for this, because in Pennsylvania you can't have that where the wheels stick out past the fender. So you can't have that. So I need to put some sort of flare on here. I do not like the OEM flares, but at the end of the day, I don't want to cut these fenders. Both front fenders are brand new. Well, new to the Jeep. They're new. I ordered them new online. One of them came from C2C, and the other one came from Amazon, believe it or not. Got a better price on Amazon. But I don't want to cut these. I want the flat flare. Boy, say that fast 5 times. I want the flat flare to bolt. I'm going to put thread certs, nut certs, whatever you call them, in the original holes and bolt them up. And I am having a very hard time finding flares that don't require you to cut the fender. A lot of them require you to cut this off. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cut the Jeep. The Jeep is basically, the body on it is bone stock. It doesn't have any rust since I replaced the floors front to back, or I replaced the floors in the passenger compartment, repaired the floor in the back. I don't want to cut the body. The body is straight. It doesn't have a dent on it. And from the floors up, there is not a spot of rust on it. This thing is perfect. It's a 95 with 2,7,500 miles, 207,500 miles on it ish. So I don't want to cut them. Question number 2. So if you guys know where to get those OEM or flat flares, I'm almost positive Bushwhacker makes a set that doesn't require you to cut, but I can't find them. So, and I may be wrong on that. I thought I saw them on one of the Jeep websites. No cut. But anyhow, the second question I have, another channel I follow is Adam LZ. A lot of you guys may have heard of him. He does drift content and a lot of automotive content with less than American cars. Nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It promotes a healthy economy. So I'm all about buying American when I can. That was made in America. Love it. But anyhow, I noticed in one of his videos, more than once, but he shifts slow. Now I don't know if it's just me, but when he's shifting, he shifts slow. So I commented on that video. I said, I can't help but notice, for somebody that's trying to, keep short lap times, you shift slow. I don't know if he's aware of it. He hasn't responded back, by the way. So, wow, this is getting really long. When I had my 95 Neon, I could shift that thing in like 1/10 of a second. from first to second, tenth of a second, from second to third, all the way through the gears. I mean, fast. So I wanted to show him. I don't have my neon anymore. I have this, and this is the AXN 15 5-speed, and this transmission was never intended to speed shift. So I tried it anyhow, and I have successfully speed shifted a couple of times, like from second to third, third to fourth, just, to see if it could be done. It can be done on this. It's not something I'm going to make a habit of. So here's my question. You guys be interested in seeing me do a speed shift video on this? Comment with the Cletus quote, Cletus McFarland, or a thumbs up, or both, and I will figure out a way to mount this camera so I can keep it, get a view of my foot and the shifter, and I'll do a video. I'm not going to go through all 5 gears with a speed shift, but I'll do a couple of shifts, and I may do it more than once or twice just to prove it's not a fluke, that I can actually speed shift this thing. I am not going to overly abuse this thing. This is my daily driver, but if you're interested in seeing it, leave a comment, leave the Cletus comment, and a thumbs up, and I'll be happy to do a couple of speed shifts in this thing. Not the vehicle intended for that, but just to prove it can be done. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. God bless.